The U.S. government's trade policies, particularly the imposition of tariffs, can have far-reaching consequences for businesses. In 2025, several industries are likely to face challenges due to new tariffs being introduced, and many companies are actively lobbying against these measures. Tariffs, which increase the cost of imported goods, can disrupt supply chains, increase operational costs, and reduce profitability. In this video, we will explore the top 10 companies that are likely to lead the charge against new tariffs in 2025, highlighting how these companies are impacted by tariffs and the strategies they use to influence trade policy. 1. Apple Inc. Apple, the world's largest tech company by market capitalization, has been a vocal opponent of tariffs, especially those affecting Chinese imports. Many of Apple's products, including iPhones, iPads, and MacBooks, are manufactured in China or rely on components sourced from the region. Tariffs on Chinese imports raise the cost of production for Apple, potentially leading to higher prices for consumers. Apple has consistently lobbied for tariff reductions and exemptions to maintain competitive pricing and ensure its global supply chain remains efficient. 2. Tesla, Inc. Tesla, known for its electric vehicles, EVs, is another major company that could be significantly affected by new tariffs, especially on materials used in the production of batteries and EV components. Tariffs on key components such as lithium, cobalt, and other rare earth metals, many of which are sourced from China and other countries, could increase production costs. Tesla's CEO, Elon Musk, has been outspoken about the negative effects of tariffs on innovation, particularly in the clean energy and electric vehicle sectors, and the company is likely to lobby against policies that raise material costs. 3. General Motors, GM. As one of the largest automakers in the U.S., General Motors has a significant stake in global trade. The company relies on international supply chains for vehicle components, with parts sourced from countries such as Mexico, Canada, and China. New tariffs on auto parts or vehicles imported into the U.S. could lead to higher production costs, which may be passed on to consumers. GM has previously lobbied against tariffs, and in 2025, it is expected to continue advocating for trade policies that protect the auto industry from tariffs that disrupt supply chains and increase costs. 4. Walmart Inc. As the largest retailer in the world, Walmart imports a significant percentage of its products from overseas, particularly from China. Tariffs on imported goods would increase the cost of many products sold in Walmart stores, potentially leading to higher prices for consumers. Walmart has long been an opponent of tariffs, arguing that they would hurt both consumers and businesses. The company's massive retail footprint makes it a major player in lobbying efforts to mitigate the negative impacts of tariffs on everyday goods. 5. Microsoft Corporation. Microsoft, another major tech company, depends on a global supply chain for its software and hardware products, including computers, servers, and cloud computing infrastructure. Tariffs on foreign components or finished products can significantly impact the cost structure of the company's offerings. Microsoft has historically lobbied against tariffs on tech products, especially when it comes to components like semiconductors and processors, which are largely sourced from abroad. In 2025, the company is likely to intensify its lobbying efforts to prevent new tariffs that could hurt its business. 6. Nike, Inc. Nike is another company that relies heavily on international supply chains. A significant portion of Nike's products, including footwear and apparel, is manufactured in countries such as China, Vietnam, and Indonesia. The imposition of new tariffs on these goods would raise the cost of production, potentially leading to price increases for consumers. Nike has been active in lobbying against tariffs that could negatively affect its pricing strategy and competitiveness. In 2025, Nike will likely continue to advocate for tariff reductions to protect its global brand. 7. Caterpillar Inc. Caterpillar, a leading manufacturer of construction and mining equipment, sources many of its parts from overseas. The company's operations are highly dependent on global trade and a smooth supply chain for the production of heavy machinery. New tariffs on materials like steel, aluminum, and other essential components could significantly raise production costs for Caterpillar. As a result, The company has been vocal in its opposition to tariffs that threaten the profitability and efficiency of the global construction equipment industry. 8. Procter & Gamble, P&G winking face. Procter & Gamble, one of the largest consumer goods companies in the world, imports a wide range of raw materials and finished products. From toiletries to cleaning supplies, many of P&G's products rely on imports from countries around the world. Tariffs on key ingredients or packaging materials could disrupt production costs, forcing the company to raise prices. P&G has long opposed tariffs that would impact consumer prices and has likely lobbied for exemptions and reductions to keep costs manageable for consumers and maintain competitive pricing. 9. Intel Corporation. Intel, a leading producer of semiconductors, is another tech giant that is impacted by global trade policies. The company relies on imported materials and components for the manufacturing of chips and processors. New tariffs on tech-related goods, especially semiconductors, would increase Intel's costs and could slow down innovation in key markets such as artificial intelligence, cloud computing, and data centers. Intel has historically advocated against tariffs that would harm the semiconductor industry, and it is likely to continue lobbying against new tariffs in 2025. 10. Amazon.com, Inc. As one of the largest e-commerce platforms in the world, Amazon is deeply embedded in global supply chains. The company imports a vast array of goods from abroad, including electronics, household goods, and clothing. New tariffs on imports would increase the cost of goods sold on Amazon, potentially leading to higher prices for consumers and reduced profit margins for sellers on the platform. Amazon has actively lobbied against tariffs in the past, and it is expected to continue its efforts to limit the impact of tariffs on its business operations and consumer prices. The impact of tariffs on U.S. businesses is undeniable, and many of the companies listed above are actively lobbying against new tariffs to protect their operations, supply chains, and bottom lines. From major tech giants like Apple and Microsoft to global retailers like Walmart and Amazon, the consequences of tariffs can be far-reaching, affecting everything from production costs to consumer prices. As the U.S. government moves forward with trade policies in 2025, these companies are likely to remain at the forefront of lobbying efforts, aiming to protect both their interests and the broader economy from the disruptive effects of new tariffs.